What's up, everybody, wherever you may be in life's journey? I am glad that I get to be here with you, and I'm glad that you are here on this earth. Thank you again for joining the webinar on how to offer it up to God, how to offer your suffering up to God. And I really spent pretty much the entire time talking about step one and step two of offering it up, of letting go and letting God, and just gave a nod to step three. It's really this idea that step one and step two are all about possessing yourself so that you can give yourself, so that you can make of this offering of self to God and to other people. And step three was all about, once you've possessed yourself, how do you then give it? You know, what are some practical ways to give it? And so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to talk you through Viktor Frankl's three paths of meaning. Now, Viktor Frankl didn't intend for these three paths of meaning to be used as a way to offer up what you're going through to God. But from an integrated perspective, from an integrated psychological and spiritual perspective, they actually work perfectly together. And so I can bring them together. I can bring what I understand about Catholic anthropology and spirituality into the psychology, integrated with the psychology of Viktor Frankl here. And so the three paths to being able to offer up your suffering to God, once you've possessed yourself, once you've overcome your blind spots, and you've had an experience of healing, how do you put it into action? And the three ways to do that. The first one is service. So Viktor Frankl once said, "What man actually needs is not a tensionless state, but rather the striving and struggling for a worthwhile goal." And so suffering has a tendency to pull you inward, to focus inward. And while good can come from self-reflection and a validation of your own inner experience, if it stays there, if we only stay in the place of examining our own blind spots and seeking healing for our own woundedness, it can be corrupting. If we don't actually turn outward, if we don't pivot and turn toward God and neighbor, in serving God and neighbor, it can actually be corrupting. There is a point where it becomes too much navel gazing. And so Viktor Frankl is like, hey, have something in your day. Have something in your day, or have an openness in your day to serve as a gift to another person. Viktor Frankl, even in a concentration camp, like, he worked and looked for opportunities to do something good in the world. He had this mission to be a light and to serve out of love. And so he looked for opportunities to do an act of service. So trying to make someone's life a little bit better, trying to help someone else know that they're seen or they're known or they're appreciated by, when they fall down, he would try and help them up, or he would try and do little things throughout the day, or he would witness other people trying to do little things throughout the day, and was like, this is helping me draw meaning. This is helping the humanity that's in this concentration camp not be overcome by the darkness. The next way that you can make yourself a self-gift is through virtuous choices. So anytime you choose to act with integrity, with courage, with generosity, with patience, or some other virtue, you'll become better, and so will the world around you. The quality of your personhood has an impact on the environment around you. So when you actively seek to become more virtuous as a part of an effort to serve God and serve neighbor, it's powerful. The next way to serve is parenthood, whether you're a biological parent or a spiritual one, offering unconditional and unidirectional, like this, I'm here for you and I don't expect anything in return. That's a powerful way to serve other people. Like, I'm here for you. I'm just totally here to serve you. Another way that Frankl talked about it actually is artistic creativity. So writing, painting, inventing, building, any other creative work that can connect you to the divine and inspire growth within you, but that can also exist as a service to other people. Like, I created this piece of art for you. I created this piece of art for the world. I created this piece of art to serve God and neighbor. Work, work, like going out and working, having a task that's before you, going and striving to complete that task, and then experiencing the satisfaction of accomplishing something, regardless of the size, that you can hang your hat on at the end of the day, is really powerful. There's a reason why religious orders, they work, because work is prayer, work is edifying, work is part of what brings out the best in the human person, and work is a service to God and to neighbor. And so it's good to think about this. Like, in what way is God inviting you to turn your life into is inviting you to serve another person today? So that's the first one. The first one is service. The second one is encountering love. The salvation of man is through love and in love. That's what Frankl had to say. And so this one is peculiar, maybe, or maybe it's more like counterintuitive. But Frankl talked a lot about meditating on experiences of love and trying to be an encounter with love. So when you're in the midst of suffering, and let's say you're not in a position to serve another person in that moment, but you're feeling the suffering kind of overwhelm you. You're feeling the suffering kind of impact you. Frankl was like, look to beauty, look to goodness, look to relationship. So when you feel the suffering overwhelming you, and he did this in a concentration camp, like, even though he was in the ugliest of circumstances, he took time to soak in the beauty of nature. He embraced the beauty of the sun, the majesty of a night sky. Like, he wanted to connect with something beautiful, because connecting with something beautiful allowed him to exist in relationship to his suffering and other people and God in a way that was fruitful, not in a way that was destructive. And if you want to prove this out, one of the things that you can watch is like little kids. Like, watch little kids hanging out inside for too long in the winter, and then watch them just like 20 minutes outside, how it totally turns their day around. It's the same thing for us as adults. Encountering beauty, being outside, existing in nature, it has a powerful way of impacting us. Okay, the other one is goodness. There's two more. The next one is goodness. So even in the darkest of circumstances, if you look to encounter goodness, you can find goodness. Whenever Frankl found some act of goodness in the concentration camp, it brought meaning to his day. It brought meaning to his suffering. It brought meaning to his experience. And it allowed him to carry the weight of his suffering again in a way that was fruitful and not destructive. The last one is relationship. So Frankl would often meditate on the love he shared with his wife. Right before he was taken into the concentration camps and captured by the Nazis, he had been married, and his wife was expecting their first child, and they were separated, and sadly she did not make it. So he never saw her again. But in the concentration camp, he didn't know if she was dead or alive, and he would reflect and he would meditate on images of her loving him and of him loving her. And so when everything was bleak, when it was cloudy and he couldn't take in the sun or the night sky, when there would seem to be no goodness around, and he would be on these, like, let's say like a death march or whatever, he would meditate on the face of his wife and on the love that his wife had for him. And it was a reflection on love that was incredibly powerful for him. Because sometimes growth doesn't happen by changing your circumstances. It happens by increasing your capacity to listen, to empathize, to be present, to meditate, even when you're exhausted, on love, on goodness, on beauty. Okay, the third way to offer it up is through your attitude. Through your attitude. So Frankl said, everything can be taken from a person but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. So you came to the suffering webinar because you're suffering. And there's the suffering you sign up for when you try to do something meaningful, like pursuing a dream or getting in shape, changing a habit. It's a day-to-day grind, right? It's the kind of suffering you can expect, and to an extent you can prepare for it. It's like Before you lose 50 pounds, you can expect to suffer through maybe some bland food, some rigorous exercise, some sore mornings, some hunger pangs, and some intense mental resistance along the way. But then there's the unpredictable suffering. Little things like you get stuck in massive traffic on your way to work, you pull your hamstring, you get the flu. But it's also big life-changing moments like a cancer diagnosis, your dad dying unexpectedly, a child that's born with a disability. Our lives are filled with unexpected sufferings that fall somewhere between the scale of little but suffering and big and change the course of your life. We're not free to decide if we suffer. We're not free to decide if we have little sufferings or big sufferings. We're not free to decide that, but we are free to decide our response to it. And in response to the suffering within the concentration camp, Frankl chose not to deny pain, but to seek meaning. Not to succumb to bitterness, but to strive to have compassion for other people. Not to be passive, but to actively choose responsibility for his life and for the direction of his life. He chose to ward off and to fight back against the compelling tide of despair. And he sought hope. John Paul II, his attitude toward life, be not afraid. Saint Therese of Lisieux, her attitude toward life, spread love everywhere you go. When you look at each of the saints, they had an attitude that was ingrained in their hearts to act as the response to the unexpected sufferings of life. Our family motto, our family attitude is, I'm not afraid. I was born to do this. Whether it is a small thing or a big thing, I'm not afraid. I was born to do this. So as you grow in self-possession, as you move towards self-gift, as you try to look for opportunities to serve other people, to encounter love, to have an attitude that really makes the most of your suffering, know that when you do those things, you're making of your life a gift for other people. Making of your life as a gift for other people. So those are the 3 ways that you can offer up your suffering on a daily basis: attitude, encountering love, and looking for opportunities to serve. Even if it's just like, I'm going to hold the door for this person, or I'm going to give this other person a phone call, I'm going to send a thoughtful text, whatever it might be. Hope you enjoyed the webinar. Also, you should today have the link for the replay from the webinar from yesterday. And if you want the free course, all you have to do is click the link in the email as well. So you got 3 links in today's email. Hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you, and may you always remember that you were made to do hard things.